Hello there, televiewers. We hope that you're having a great weekend. Well, thank you very much for joining us on yet another edition of The Diary on STV. As you know, it's always a pleasure to be in your company. Well, for the past couple of weeks, Cameroonians have been watching with very keen interest the first ever Biggy competition in the country. Now, it's a TV reality show, for those of you who do not have all the info just yet, that follows a group of young persons. They are called housemates in a mansion, and they are completely cut off, you know, from everything happening outside the house. Amongst other things, they have to take on tasks. They also have challenges that they have to accomplish, and they fight hard to stay in the house. And every weekend, Saturdays precisely, now housemates are eliminated. This week on The Diary, we'll be talking to some of those who are now ex-housemates. They'll be telling us about their experiences in the Biggy mansion. Don't go away. You meet them when we come back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching The Diary on STV, and today we are talking Biggy 237, the stories from the house. You have definitely, if you're in Cameroon, and some of you even out of the country, been paying attention to the Biggy 237 competition, the first of its kind in Cameroon. It's got tongue waggings for many reasons, and today on The Diary, well, we'll be talking to some of those that you saw and you watched from inside the house. Now they're outside, and they're going to be releasing their stories with us on the show. Let me start with the lone lady, because it's time to meet my guest. The lone lady on set with us today, her name is Melanie, and she's a fashion designer, a makeup artist, a marketer, yes, I did some research, and a graphic designer. Quite heavy there for you, Melanie. First, good afternoon and welcome on board The Diary.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Great. So Melanie is one of the guests today, and she's an ex-housemate. She'll be telling us about her experiences. She's not alone, as you can see. She's in the company of two gentlemen, and I'm going to start with the person sitting closest to me, MC Dibenja. He's a TV presenter, okay? So he might be trying to ask questions here, even though we're going to make sure it doesn't happen, because this one is my show. He's an MC, a red carpet host, a public relations specialist. I know you're with Nikki Hit Entertainment. MC Dibenja, it's good to have you on the show.
My pleasure, the pleasure's mine. I'm so happy being here talking to a beautiful lady like yourself.
Okay, you know, presenters, MCs, they're good with words. Well, thank you anyways. And last but certainly not the least, Chapalo. He's an actor, he's a comedian, and I'm sure we'll be learning so much more about who he is and what he's into. Chapalo, you're welcome.
Thank you. You're looking good.
I think he's following the trend. Anyways, it's good to have you guys on The Diary. We've been watching you on TV, on following your Facebook live sessions, and we've been seeing what's been happening in the house. For people who want to know a little bit more about you, let me start with the ladies. Always ladies first. Melanie, who apart from what I read out, your marketer, your public relations, sorry, you're not a public relations, you're not the public relations officer, that's MC. You are a makeup artist, a designer. Tell us a little bit more about you and what you're into.
Well, thank you for that. First of all, from everything that you've named so far, there are things like being a marketer, something I studied in school, so that's my profession, like from school. And being a makeup artist is an added trade. Okay. So I learned it just from few months where I was working here in Aqua.
Okay.
And being a fashion designer, it has always been my dream, because as far as I can remember, I've always had these difficulties in like letting another designer come up with something that I want. So I took it as a challenge.
Let me guess, what you're wearing is your design.
Yeah, it's mine.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So I decided to come up with that and move in like fully into the business. So apart from that, I also am getting into acting. It's something I discovered myself as I can get into, like it's a showbiz world.
Yeah.
And showbiz is like it's a world on its own. So there are so many outlets. So I discovered that I have a talent in acting thanks to some of my Biggy
Housemates.
friends, yeah.
Okay.
So we always have time to chit chat together, and one of them is a script writer, and since we usually talk, and like, okay, come, let me take you to an audition, and so from there, that's when I discovered, okay, why don't I get into this fully?
Yeah.
And I'm also getting into photo modeling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not runway modeling, no, just photo modeling, because I think it's another aspect of me. I like posing a lot. I like making some kind of funny gestures and the rest.
Right.
So I'm getting into that as well, and it's all thanks to Biggy, as I can say, because those are the things I discovered myself doing.
Wow.
And also, not to say I'm a jack of all trades, but I like talking a lot.
All right.
So I decided to get into the talking business,
Right.
like starting up a YouTube channel
Alright.
where I can have some kind of a talk on my own, like mostly about love, because that is actually where
That's your specialty.
I feel comfortable in.
Okay.
I feel
Alright.
comfortable. It's not as if my love life is 100%, but at least I feel comfortable talking to people about love,
Okay.
like telling them how to go about some little challenges and what they're facing and the rest. I think, in a nutshell,
Yeah, we can look forward to many things. We look forward to many things from you, following your Biggie experience. So let me turn to you, MC Dibenja. Outside the showman that we know, the talker, what else is there to know about you?
Oh, well, MC Dibenja, you said a lot of things about me. The MC Dibenja
Yes.
is a TV presenter, MC, red carpet host, PR strategist, and someone who's in love with fashion, who think that you can I'm a fashion forward kind of person who feels like, okay, in the days ahead I'm going to get into fashion photography and stuff, into being a professional model, fashion model and stuff. But basically, MC Dibenja does everything that gives you money. Yeah. Okay. Those ones I mentioned, those are things that I can say, okay, I am good at these things. Yeah, I'm very good at these things I'm trying to tell you about. But beside that, anything that brings money to the table, anything that brings food to the table, MC Dibenja is open to work with. Anybody that brings food to the table.
Okay.
That's who I am.
All right. Okay then, well said. Let me turn to you, Shapalo. Of all the three persons I have on set, you're the person I need to know more about, because I found really very little information about you. From what I gather, you're a very private person, but still on the diary today we need to know a little more about, Shapalo. So tell us.
Okay, Shapalo, apart from being an actor, comedian, I'm a painter. I'm also trying to enter into commercial modeling, and I'm trying to, I'm having a group of youths. We are four. We are trying to build up a production. We'll have actors, we'll have musicians, we'll have models, and I have also a footballer. Okay. And apart from that, I did accounting and finance in the university, where I could never had the privilege to finish.
Oh,
I'm trying to come back to it.
Okay. Yeah. So you could have been working in the bank today or some other financial institution. Yeah. Well, we hope that you finish your education and maybe do that dream job, or have that dream job that you've always longed for. Now, we want to hear about the stories, around Biggy 237, because that's why you all are here. I want to start that. How did you all get into the competition? Let me start with you, Melanie. How did you get into the competition? How did you find out about it? How did the auditions go? And tell us.
Well, I think it was all over social media when the registration process started, and I was privileged to have some friends who knew a little more about the stuff, so I had some information on how it's going to be like, and they told me about the test program they had. It was Big Brother and Dub, something like that. So they had a test program, so I was privileged to have somebody who participated in it, and so she kind of explained some little things about it, and I was like, okay, I'm interested, because we've been watching Big Brother Nigeria, Big Brother Africa, and it's quite interesting. It's something that Cameroonians really love. So I was like, okay, I'm interested. And when registrations were open, it was all over social media, and I had no difficulty. I just contacted them and I applied for it.
Okay, all right. Was it the same for you, MC Dibenja?
I'm this person who likes show. So I like everything that has to do with TV. So
Okay.
So I've always been this person who wanted to get into Big Brother Africa when it was Big Brother Africa, but since Cameroon is not part of that, that zone, so it was difficult for me. So one time I was leaving Douala to Buea because I work in Douala basically. So I was leaving Douala to Buea one time, that was last year, and then I met this lady in the car, and then she was talking about. She showed me something on her phone about the whole Bimbo and Dub stuff, like she said.
Okay.
So, but I didn't really like what's Bimbo and Dub, like, okay, is it for Dub people or what's it all about? And then she said that it was something that a group of friends came around and then did that. It was successful, so they're trying to make it out to be Big Brother Cameroon and stuff.
Okay.
And then she was asking me like, okay, why don't I try it? So I said that, she said that I didn't actually show more of interest, but when I went home, I actually went online, tried to search about the whole Bimbo and Dub stuff. So I saw a video from a TV station that they were giving a report on the Big Brother Dub finals and the person who won, there was a lady who won and stuff. So I just said, okay, fine. I'm going to keep on to this and try to see what comes on. I can tell that I was one of the first people who ever applied for Biggy 227.
Okay.
Yeah, but at that time it was still Big Brother Cameroon. Before they changed it, they were trying to modify it to Biggy 227. So I was one of the first people who applied there when they sent the form. So it was just, I don't know, the organizers knew what they were looking for in every contestant. There was no audition at all.
Oh, okay.
It was just people applying, and then there was a selection phase. So they knew whatever they were looking for. I guess whosoever went to the show had what they were looking for.
Okay.
So that's how I got to the show.
Right. But I do understand that you were competing, Chapalo, with many others who didn't make the cut, right? Is that so?
Yeah.
Okay. And you two found out on social media? Is that how you found out about the competition?
Oh, I found out through a friend.
Okay.
With therapy. She was also an applicant, so finally she took us as a contestant. So when I was going through my status, I saw it, like I was like, wow. I posted it first before asking her that, what is this all about? Is it a movie or whatsoever? She said, no, it's not a movie. It's like a TV reality show. I was like, what? TV show in Cameroon? I was not like believing. I'm first of all fan of TV reality shows. Okay. So I went down to the website of Biggy 227. I like tried to read up, see what was going on. And I noticed that it's not something of today, something of Dub.
Yeah.
And I was still surprised than Dub. I was still thinking it was still a scam. So I went through curiosity. I took the file, downloaded the file. I applied. When I applied, I was not even expecting they call me back. So one day I was just surprised. The Biggy panel called me and said, you're selected to be a contestant. I was still shocked.
And from that stage, when you get a call or I don't know, an email, however it is they reached out to you, what happened when you got called and you were told you've been selected? What happened from that stage? Anybody can take on this one.
So it was something like, there were two stages. When we got into the applicants phase where we applied, there were like 800 and something to 1,000 people who applied for the whole stuff.
Okay.
And then a good number of us were selected to be contestants. And so we were moved now to from being participants, from being applicants to being contestants now.
Okay.
So we're like 50 something,
61
that were selected. So these 61 people had to go through a first stage, because Biggy 227 is in two phases. Phase one, which was a task phase, when they give you guys a series of activities, a series of tasks to perform, like the 4 of them. So you perform now, the public gets to decide. They watch the videos and they get to decide through votes.
Okay.
Who are going to be those lucky 25 people to get into the house. So when we went through that stage, the people you saw in the house are those who went through the voting stage, in the first stage, they did their task and everything, and those were the people who were voted into the house.
Okay, all right. It sounds also interesting. Now, during your time in the house, Melanie, I'm going to begin with you. What was the experience like? What was it like for you?
Well, I would say it's one of its kind.
Okay.
I may say, because I've never been on a TV reality show before.
Right.
Biggy 237 is a very first, and I think it's a lifetime experience. Like,
okay,
it's something I would definitely encourage anybody to go in for, especially those who are in showbiz, because not everybody wants to be on the screen. But my experience there, actually, I can say right now, maybe missing the house, because it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I mean, like, being with people like the same age group, the same vision. Everybody is striving to improve the entertainment in Cameroon. I mean, like, there is a competition, and yet you don't feel the competition. Everybody wants to win, and at the same time, everybody wants to mingle. You want to stay at the same level, like understanding each other. So I can say, in the house, it was like living with family, but yet having a focus.
Okay.
Like you have a target, you need to reach that target, but at the same time, you need these people around because you are trying to build some kind of connection. You don't know what tomorrow is made of. So you don't have to trample on somebody just because you need to get to that point. So when you think about your goal, you still need to maintain that connection. So I think it was really a tough something to do, but I think it's something at least
worthwhile.
It's worthwhile, yeah.
Okay, all right. And living in a community, living with other people, sharing the same sitting room, the same sitting area, the same bedroom area, the same kitchen, was that easy? I've never had experience, and I want to know, Shapalo, was that easy? I know guys don't cook. Well, most guys don't cook, so. So, Shapalo, was it easy sharing your space with, you know, many other persons?
It was not that easy because for me it was the first time. I usually go for camping of movies, but I'm always on my own side, so I don't talk to people and whatsoever. But there I was forced to do so and communicate and live as different people want, because you cannot live as in your house. So like communicate with them, play with them, do some funny joke, get angry sometimes. One time Jimenja almost slapped someone. So, so argue and it leads to a fight, but not fighting because we're mature people and we know how to control ourselves.
So definitely not easily with people in the community, especially people who are not you're still getting to know them in the majority of the cases.
When people don't want the reason, you don't want to tell them the reason.
They say many human beings in one place. Human beings are like spirits.
So, so sometimes you feel like, okay, you have this idea, you bring it up, and everybody feels like, okay, why did you show? and then that's it. Because my experience was like, okay, the whole ideology I had in my head was, okay, I was going somewhere where we're going to learn from each other. I'm going to bring something to the table, what I know how to do best, and you bring what you know how to do best. But truly, the whole time, it was majority, like 90% of the time we spent in the house, it was useless.
Oh, okay.
It was doing nothing.
How do you mean when you say useless?
When I say useless, I mean like, we were busy having conversations that were not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, having conversations that were not necessary, doing things that were not necessary at a particular point in time. So I know it's a reality TV show, and you guys go there to live your life, live your normal day life. But at least it's also a platform to sell yourself. What you know how to do best.
Yeah.
Majority of the people there were just there to maybe I don't know, just make noise. And then scream, and then level of vulgarity. Everybody is like, so at one point when I came out, I saw comments like, Biggy, where did you get these people from? Did you go to market and pick these people up and put them there? So because I will not blame those who commented like that, because I was in the game and I was feeling the same impact that somebody who was watching from outside would feel. So that's why I will tell you that 90% of the times we were basically just shouting the whole place, making noise. That's the noisiest place I've ever been in my life. Even the market is not that noisy. Yeah, it was so crazy. But overall, it was a nice experience because I like my space. I'm somebody who like my space. I'm somebody who is very reserved person. Like, I talk too much, but I like my space. This is my space, Most of my friends don't even know where I live sometimes. Yeah, we meet outside. So, but it was a new experience for me to be. Everybody sees where I sleep, my bed, and where my clothes are. I leave from bedding and barefoot.
Privacy issues.
So it was a whole new experience for me. So I feel like something has added. I can live with people.
Okay.
I think so.
And for a woman, Melanie, it's a whole different level, especially when it comes to privacy and things like that. It must have been a little tougher for you as a girl.
Yeah, I can say, because I can imagine like you're sleeping in the same place. Like my very next bed neighbor was a guy, and we actually like share the same space and everything. And you can imagine.
Plus the cameras.
And the camera. Funny enough, the camera was like just focus on my bed like that. So when you're sleeping, you got to be like. You don't have to do any kind of funny move in it.
We're not going to go to to that particular incident, but there's an uproar on social media when a certain clip from a certain video of a housemate. So we can imagine it's challenging, because you have to think about all of that and work around all of that. Another thing you all had to deal with was being cut off from what's happening outside. The outside world, not using your cell phones. Shapalo, what's it like? Have you ever gone for weeks without using your phone? What was that like?
My phone.
See, it was a whole basic thing, because I work basically on social media all my life, and then I had to be out of social media for months, for a month. I mean, what I discovered is there's nothing that's impossible.
Right.
Once you set to do something, this experience, that's why I tell you that I learned a lot, because this experience actually made me understand that you can do anything you want to do if supposedly you put your mind to do that thing. Because I did not believe at one point in my life that I could be for a week without my phone. Because I make my money online, I do everything online, my life is online. Like every time I'm on my phone, I don't sleep. I've been out for how many days now? I've not slept, I've not closed my eyes. Yeah. Okay. So that was being in the house for 1 month without my phone. That's the biggest achievement I've had.
Okay. And Chapalo, I imagine that when you turned on your phone when you got back home finally, it was blowing up with messages and things like that, or except it's not so. You tell us, was it the case? Or
it was blowing up because my phone wasn't followed up as I left it.
Okay.
So I left it to one of my team members, but I never gave it to my manager. So
I'm going to ask you that question. We're going to come to that. Yeah.
All the messages from the day of the party till the day I came back were to enter, so I had to leave my phone like for 1 hour 30 minutes for all this to come back.
The alerts, the messages, and and all that. And also, Melanie, of course, I'd like to know what it was like living without your phone, social media, but knowing what's happening in the world.
Well, I think that was quite challenging because, anyway, our society today, everybody communicates
with
social media, so it's obvious. Like, personally, I'm so much fan of my phone. I can sit the whole day, I don't eat, but I'm like chatting with my people and everything. I hardly call. I know most of my people on WhatsApp and the rest, so I just like give them text messages or voice notes and the rest.
Yeah.
But so staying away from my phone, like the minute I was handing over my phone, I was like really in tears because I couldn't imagine me giving my phone and like going somewhere. I don't even know what is happening to the phone. I don't know who is calling. I don't know. So I was just like thinking every day, but like I think I'm hearing my phone ringing. I could only stay like 2 days, and the ringtone was like singing in my ear. I was like, my phone is ringing, my phone is ringing. So all those things, like it wasn't really easy, but I'm happy. I'm happy I could stay that long without my phone. I'm happy.
I don't think I could survive. It would be very difficult.
I also had the experience like feeling my phone was ringing. Everybody. The day I was handing my phone, I never had my phone, right? So I had this issue. Because I live with my kid brother, and then so whatsoever, I live with my kid brother, and then I lost my family house due to whatever is happening and the crisis and so on.
Oh dear.
So my parents are kind of like displaced, homeless and stuff. So
we are really sorry to hear that, by the way. Very sorry.
I live with my kid brother. So my rent had expired.
Okay.
And I knew I had more time because I've been living where I've been living like the past 6 years.
Okay.
So I knew I had some upper hand in that. But on that day when I was supposed to enter the house, I got a call from my kid brother that the caretaker came up and said that he should get out of the house. Like there was no notice, like everything. Because I knew that maybe since I'm an old tenant in the house, I'm gonna have this
sometime.
So and then when he called and said that, so I was like, just figure something out. And my mom, maybe he called my mom. And then my mom was calling at that point in time. So I spoke to my mom. She was like, what do we do right now? Like, so I was just like, I was confused. So when I gave my phone now, the person was handing my phone. I was going to the house. I just felt like my mom was calling me and my phone was ringing. So during the first week, if you notice, during the first week, I was not myself because I felt like, okay, something was going on. I needed to be at home to handle this thing, and I was not there to handle it. And whenever I sat, I felt like my phone was ringing, like somebody was calling me to ask for something. Like, so it was a whole nightmare.
I can only imagine. People who do not know your story would not understand why. Maybe they felt you were not, to use your words, yourself during the first week. But I think now we understand. We're a little, we get a little bit of insight into what was happening, and we are really sorry. We hope that your family sorts its issues out. You know, we pray.
We hear from friends, some great people, friends, and well, they had a place to lay their heads, and then so I come back to and get back to my wahala.
We are glad to hear that. We're certainly glad to hear that. Did anybody get homesick at some point? Did anybody miss their house? You know, their home, their family, their loved ones? Anybody? Chapalo, it seems like I touched the soft spot because the look on your face.
Yeah,
did you get homesick?
Get homesick, like.
Did you miss home?
Did you miss home? Yeah.
At one point I was missing home because my mom just came to Cameroon and I had only 2 days to spend with her and go for quarantine as the panel did. And I never had time with my kid sister, which I stay over years without seeing. And my mom too, which I stay over years without seeing her. So I was at one point missing them. Like they'll go back without seeing me. And luckily when I was evicted, maybe 2 days after the travel.
Oh, so you didn't even get to spend time with them? So people make a lot of sacrifices to be in that house. If you didn't know that, well, you're learning today. Ashia. Ashia.
Don't make a mad cry, bitch.
So for me, I actually missed, like, I was just said, I missed taking care of my issues. I missed taking care of my family. And then I missed my son too, because I have a son.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, oh boy. So I missed him.
What's his name?
His name is Dibenja.
Dibenja, of course. Daddy is sending plenty of love to you.
Yeah, so I missed him when I was in the house. That was the last person I missed when I was in the house. So I was like, oh my God, I see him right now. Like, I see him right now. But everybody was fine when I got out. So. Right.
And Melanie, let me talk with you for a little bit now, since we're talking about missing people. Some blogs were reporting, you tell us whether or not it's true, we're reporting that you were supposedly in a dilemma, I'm putting that in quotes, because you were struggling and trying to decide whether or not you should go into the house or you should spend time with your boyfriend. Is there any truth in that whatsoever?
Well,
Guys, I'm not lying.
Every news.
well, I would say it's a lie.
Okay.
But I kind of had that. I don't really want to get into
okay, maybe not into the details, but you know.
I kind of had something like that, but
okay.
I managed.
All right.
I had some great housemates like MC Dibenja here. They kind of like talked me out of.
Did I?
Shut up.
All right.
So, but anyway, it passed, and I was able to get back to myself and handle the game. So.
Yeah, I'm sure when you came out to some celebration, huh? Well, we'll get into that. Now, I was reading up and I found this, Melanie. You said when you enter the house, you know, your reason, actually your goal for getting into the competition was to help women and children who have been abandoned by the men in their lives. Do you think you achieved that?
Well, I think I had the platform already, so from there, I'm going to work out something. Okay. All I needed was some exposure and people to understand what my vision is.
Okay.
Because apart from everything that I'm doing, I think that is my main objective, because if I don't do that, I will feel like I've missed out in life. Yeah.
Right.
Because I grew up in that environment where there was no that.
Okay. Like, yeah, I was going to ask you, because why women and children abandoned by their men?
Because I can feel their pain.
Right.
You know, when you're growing up and the daddy figure is out of the picture, and you see your mom trying, like, struggling to bring up yourself and your kid and your brothers and sisters, everybody. So my mom is actually a fighter, because when you look at everything, she had 7 kids and she managed to raise all of them. I'm the last.
Wow.
So you can imagine that the other ones are already like
yeah, all grown up. Yeah.
So she managed to take care of all these children without a father. So when I look at other children around me or other like my age group and the rest, and I see them like talking about not having a father, I could understand.
Yeah.
And also looking at women, like a young woman, maybe you have a child and the guy like abandons you, I still fit in that situation. Because it was rather unfortunate that the guy I was supposed to like build my life with, I have a child with him, and along the way he kind of like just dropped me.
Okay.
So I still fit myself in that. So I'm just like, I need to talk to those women. I need to talk to everyone that can actually fit in that circle, because if I can share my life experience, I think it will help build them up and helping them as well, because I know with those women it's like hell bringing up children. I mean, like, they need to go to school, you need to feed them, they need to clothe, all those kind of things. So it is really difficult. So they need help. So my aim is to achieve that, so that I could at least extend a little something to those women, so they could not really feel the burden right on them. Yeah.
Wow. Whenever you're ready to start up with that campaign, count on us. Let us know, and we'll be glad to have sit down and talk about it here on the diary. It's good to know that people can feel the pain of others and want to help them out of their situation. Now I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, Melanie, but let me turn my attention to MC Dibenja for a little bit. Talking about the reasons for entering the show, you also said that you wanted to learn from others and impact people with what you know. So is this something you think you achieved while in the house, or is something you're going to do now that you're out of the house?
I did that in a particular extent. I have some people who can testify in the house, like half of the people I spoke with, who had businesses who wanted to set up, because I do PR for brands, I do PR for small businesses.
Right.
I do celebrity PR too.
Okay.
So I was able to talk to some people one-on-one. I had a PR class while in the house before. That was the week before I left. So I was having a PR class, and I kind of drew some housemates in their various department, the various fields like entertainment, business, and whatever, what works for you and the department and stuff. So I think I went a little bit into achieving that. You know, if I had more time, I'd have done more of what I did. But I think so far I can say I have some other housemates who we plan on working more when they get
on the outside.
Yes. Some people are in the house, so when they get out, we're going to help them establish their businesses that they're going to establish. Some people have beauty salons, some people have other stuff that they're trying to bring up. So we discussed that. They actually laid down their ideas to me, and then we try to see how we can structure it out, like the brand, the name, and everything for the company, and everything, how it works, the long and the short-term goals, and everything for what it is. So I'm waiting for them when they get out. We're going to try to see how we can work on that and do that. So I'm still open to many other people outside. You might not be part of the show, but you're outside there, and then you feel like you have this business, this startup you're trying to set up to bring to the light. So we can help you. I have a small PR agency that I started last year with a friend, Evicted. It's a partnership. So we've been working with startups for a main time. We're working with startups based in Cameroon, some few startups in Nigeria, some few startups in the US. So my idea, because I like building. I like that is why most of one of the reasons why I got into Biggy 27 in the first edition in the first place, because I had some people say, no, you shouldn't get into the first edition, let it go for a while. But I like being that person who starts something. Yeah,
be part of the building blocks.
Yeah, that's what I like. So most of the things I've got into things that start from the base, from the beginning. So I think that I went into some level of achieving that, and I'm still going to do more as I'm out of the house now.
Great then. Now, you weren't around when this happened, you were still in the house, but some people had the impression that when you became house captain, that you changed quite a little, and that you became bossy. Is that true? I mean, we're just watching from the outside.
I saw these comments online. But it didn't actually get into me, because that was not true. Sometimes what happens in the house is they can testify. Most of the time, they can testify.
Yes, I'm going to ask them.
They've not been house captains, so they don't know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you act in the house based on instructions. So the instances where I've seen people place instance that this is what you did, this is what you did, that we thought we saw you being a dictator, and they compared me to some leaders, some African leaders. So I all those instances didn't actually get into me, because those were not my actions. Yeah, those were actions that actually were going out of instructions. So, so I felt like that's not me. People who know me actually know me. Just that at one point in time I lost it, because I discovered that if you are with 22 people in the house, and you discover that 20 people see you like a threat and they're against you, I shouldn't like you when you hate me. It's not so when you hate me, when you don't like me, I would not like you too. That's what happened at one point in time. So we were doing a quiz. I became house captain due to a group work. It was not my personal effort, it was group. And this is it. And there were 4 groups for this competition. And 2 groups were first eliminated in the first stage. So our group now went with another group to the finals to see who the leaders of this group are going to be house captains. And now Biggy gave an instruction and said that the other groups who are out can support any team they like. And these other groups they all decide to go to the other group. And because I was in this group. And when I said that, most of the time people were asking like, why do you say that, because you were in that group? And that's not the first time. We had a lot of competition. And just the fact that I was in a particular group, people did not even support people they were related to in that group. So it became to me like a thing in the house. So why should I become house captain and suddenly become so cool with everybody? When before getting to the house captain, you didn't even support me to get to the house captain. So I said the day I got house captain, I said that these people who made me house captain, they're going to get preferential treatment. It's a democratic society, but they're going to have a preferential treatment, and that's what I did. And so people were complaining because their favorites were not in my group.
Okay.
And did not get that preferential treatment. That's why they were complaining outside. So that is, since it's not my thing, it's not me. Some people say I was arrogant, I was being a dictator and whatsoever. That's not me. I was being proud, and that's not me. If I know something I say, and if you see what I say as being proud, then I don't know. That's you. It's communication. I'm not responsible for what you receive. I'm responsible for what I say now.
Okay, all right, well said. Another thing, before we move on to talk about a little more about Shapalo, there were some other rumors about rumors actually about you and a fellow housemate, Melinda. Any truth to that whatsoever? Let's just. I'm sure they want to know. We just want to know, right?
Yeah,
because we are curious fans. We watched you and we want to know what was happening.
We want
to know.
I think he wants to know. Shapalo wants to know too.
Okay. I came out to see somebody of that, and many are not friends.
Okay.
Yeah, we're very close friends. Yeah. Should we're friends. That's all. So I came out to see so many comments about why are you making. So many are our friends. Like, so she's one of the best person, one of the nicest people who I've met in my life in recent times.
Okay.
Like she's a very nice person. I remember I told you that the first week I got into the house, I was so much demoralized about what's going on outside.
Yeah.
And she was always there talking me out. If you watched, there was a couple of times that I actually burst into tears and whatsoever. And she was always there to calm me down, like, okay, since you know your family's going through this thing, you just need to hustle now, focus here to see if you can get this money to go back to your family's life. She was always there like a friend. At one point in time, I started catching feelings. So I started feeling like, okay, I was getting attached to her. Yeah. Because you know the way he walks. Yeah. We're in a close environment, and somebody's there always for you, always cares for you, always looks after you, has your back. And it's so easy to fall for those kind of people. Right. So that's what happened. And I fell for her at one point in time, but she has a boyfriend outside. Okay. So and that was the whole thing. And so nothing happened between us. That was just it. I fell for her and I asked her out. So that's what happened. I asked her out, but nothing happened. So at one point in time I came back to my senses. And then I discovered that, okay, what was I really doing? Because she has a boyfriend tattooed on her chest and everything. Wow. And so we became close friends. Okay. We understood ourselves, like, okay, this is it. This thing can work between us. What we just have to do is be friends, and if you can help each other in any way and whatsoever. I gave her a lot of advice about her business that she's going to open, and when she comes out, we're going to work together and stuff. So Melinda and I are very good friends. That's it. Okay,
thank you for being so honest. I think it's clear we understand now. Even your fans, pardon me, will be happy. Shapalo, I'm going to be turning the spotlight to you now. Following your eviction, you made a statement on your Facebook page, and that was on the 17th of August. I'm going to read it. Now, you claimed that you were, I'm just going to paraphrase. You claimed you were evicted as a result of the negligence of your team members, or a team member who was supposedly keeping your phone. Explain that to us, because we didn't quite understand, what was happening.
Okay, the day we were to leave for the house party, I had my manager was occupied. First of all, I would like to precise, in my team, I don't work with people older than me. I work with people who are junior, my kids. Okay. I always call them my kids, but my manager is like the second, is like 90 years old. Okay. So it's my manager. So the day he was supposed to take my phone, he was having a football match. He's the one who's a footballer. He was having a football match. He could not come and take my phone. So I called another team member who's an artist. I don't want to call his name. I called him, come take my phone, and I told him everything they were supposed to do in my phone, so you should know. I told him, okay, this is to do this, this is to do this. Please, when you reach, first thing, you go first and give the phone. Or if you see you arrive late, you keep it, and tomorrow morning, first thing tomorrow morning, you go and leave the phone. So fortunately, the guy took the phone, he connected himself for that day, the third. I kept the phone. My manager was like calling him, like, what is wrong? You're not bringing Chabalo's phone. He needs the phone. We need to do stuff. I already left contact in which they could vote for me. They were just waiting for emissions. So they vote for me. And he was like turning my manager and saying, oh, tomorrow I'll come and give you, and tomorrow this, tomorrow that. He was having one complaint from one complaint. The day I was evicted, he was not even aware. Oh, okay. He was evicted. And the next day I reached home, and I was like, I came to his house first. I asked him, like, okay, where's my phone? He said, your phone is here. I said, okay, what are you probably doing on my phone? They were like, we are posting. The phone was off. I took the phone. I wanted to check myself on the phone. The phone was off. I asked, okay, why is my phone off? I thought I told you my phone was supposed to be on 247. He told me no, it's just that we used it now, and I went off. Okay, benefit of that, I took the phone that same night. I think around past midnight, I went to my manager's place, and like my manager saw me, like shouted, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, even your manager didn't he didn't watch the show?
He didn't watch the show because he was occupied. And when he was trying to call the boy, like telling the boy, give me the phone, because that phone I will be more informed than when I'll be watching the live shows. That's what he was trying to explain to the boy. I'll be more informed because he's in WhatsApp group and all that. And he, when I entered his house, he was like, "What are you doing here? I thought you were supposed to be in Biggy." I could not even answer. I felt sad. I drank water. And I said that, "Well, what are you people doing on my phone?" He said, "Thank God you're here." Now he moved a long messages. How he was begging the boy to bring the phone and all that, but the boy never brought the phone. So it was very unfortunate. He was not aware of voting. He was not aware of anything.
Wow. I'm following everything you've said now. Don't you think there were maybe some planning issues? Because if your manager did not know that you were up for eviction and he didn't know that you had been evicted, I mean, outside the fact that he didn't have your phone, that should raise some questions, don't you think?
Yeah, that's true. I also asked him some questions. I was very annoyed with him. I made something like, is it close to 3 weeks I was not talking to them?
Okay.
Yeah, it's recently when they decided to bring back housemates in the house. We were having a meeting, like they were trying to explain to me, and I was like trying to shout at them that you were not supposed to do this, people were not supposed to do this, and we had a phone call and whatsoever. You know, when they say when the kid pee on the bed, you will not kill the kid.
Exactly, exactly, right? You forgive, you forget, and you move on. Now, I'd like to open this particular question a little bit more to everybody else. Who runs your campaign from the outside? Who was running your campaign from the outside, Melanie? And how was it working?
Well, I have a manager.
Okay.
He was in charge, and he wasn't working alone. He had a team of people he was working with, and I can say my boyfriend was also part of that team.
Okay.
So they tried all they could, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. So
all right,
I just had to be evicted. So I don't blame them for anything. I say they did what they could do.
Yeah.
You know, it's a game. You win and others will lose. So if I was not opportune to move forward, maybe it's not really what I should have done. So I'm okay.
All right, and MC Benja, you've got like all these fans, you know, you group of people who support you. I mean, even prior to the Biggy 237 competition. So how was your campaign run?
Most of the people who support me have a thing for how can I put it? They have a thing for what can we use now? They have a thing for top quality.
Okay, meritocracy maybe.
No, top quality. Like okay, if they're doing this thing, this is what it should be.
Yeah.
So, but I actually kept a group of people outside who were supposed to handle my stuff. So my Instagram had about 3 people to 4 people who were supposed to run it. My Facebook had about 2-3 people, and then the other stuff. So it was there, and then I had my own phone. My phone was on all throughout. My phone was never off. I wouldn't say my phone was off. It was on throughout. But at one point in time, these people that I kept to run these things, I don't know what happened. They were silent. But not like my accounts went silent. Since they went silent, somebody else came from somewhere else and picked it up. Okay. So and they tried their best. So it was good. But the thing is, most of the people that I was saying, most of the people that could actually invest money in what I was doing, don't actually. I actually skeptical about the whole Biggy 237 stuff. Okay. When I came out, I got calls from Nigeria, I got calls from South Africa, I got calls from everywhere. Like, why did you get on that show? I told you when you get or something, you are more than that, and that one stuff. So I got a lot of calls. Okay. Like, these are people who had to put money into it. So they were so mad that I got into it, and then they didn't see whatever I was getting there. They didn't see any quality in it. It was instead like, okay, you are here, and then you're going back to something that's here. That's what they saw. So basically, that's what happened. They had people who collected money, but what they said was, you are back now. What do you want to do? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Okay, fine. Let's send the money, and you do that stuff with it. Okay. That's what happened.
So yeah, it's been beneficial. Yeah. After all, and while we're on the subject, you also said something. I've been keeping track, obviously, and about the voting, you've been consistent, and you've been saying it's not about the fans or even about the talent, but about the money.
The thing is, now, Activate Cameroon has close to 22,000 people, 22 million people.
Of course,
yeah, millions. People. Now, you divide this in this 22 million people, just about 3 million people follow showbiz.
Well, thereabouts, we don't have the exact statistics.
No, yeah,
so thereabouts.
About 3 million people who actually follow showbiz, like showbiz, core showbiz in Cameroon. And now, in that 3 million people who follow core showbiz in Cameroon, you have just about 1.5 million of people, or let's say 1 million people. It's not even up to 1 million people who actually believe in Biggy 227.
Right.
Do you understand? Now, take this 1 million people who believe in Biggy 227 and divide them by 26 people. How many people you have per contest per housemate? Now, you discover that if you are going based on just individual, just fan vote, like how many people vote, one vote, somebody supposed to one vote, you discover that one vote per person. If each contestant cannot have 1,000 votes or maybe 2,000 votes just from fans. Now it needs somebody who has another backup, because Biggy 227 you can vote with 1 million votes on one SIM card. So if I have a rich uncle who is abroad who has money and can just look for 2 people down here and give them 500,000 and say you vote 250,000, you vote 250,000. Even if Shapalo has 1 million fans here, it will not change anything.
Right.
That's why I kept saying that. It's not based on fans, because I have fans. I have people who support me. I came back, I saw proofs of vote. Like, not people just because I saw the thing online, like somebody commented online that we didn't want you to come out, that you had to be there for long. And somebody replied the comment and said that, did you vote for him? People voted for me. This fans, if I say I've delimited more fans for Biggy 227, just about maybe 0.1% or something, because majority of people that I have behind me are people who have been with MC Dibenja from day one, who have been supporting everything I do. Do you understand? And they voted. I came back to my group, I saw my phone, because whenever they voted, they send the screenshots on my WhatsApp groups. I have about 6 WhatsApp groups. They send screenshots on it. Now you discover that despite all that, I could not still go get somewhere, because there were people who have maybe relatives abroad, who have relatives here who are well-to-do people. I don't have to tell people.
Okay.
I'm just empty dependent. I depend solely on the public.
All right.
And that's why I don't joke with the public. I don't joke with anybody who shares my thing on social media. I don't joke with anybody who likes my thing on social media, because that is my own family. That is my own rich family. So I depend solely on the public. So if I have the public and somebody have maybe 10 people in the public and they have 2 people who are billionaires, definitely I have no chance.
Okay. And do you feel the same way, Melanie? Did you have the same feeling, or you're a little different? Do you stand a little differently from his viewpoint?
No, on this particular aspect, I think he's right. Because ever since from the tax phase, you discover that it's because if they had to put something like 1 SIM, 1 vote, then we should have been thinking about the fan base. Okay. But since they have that possibility for 1 SIM to give out as many votes as possible, so it's not all about money. Okay. Because it's just about the amount that you can give, and then you just put out the votes. Like 1 SIM can give you 100,000 votes. It's not really about fan base. It's just about money. Bring the money and you have the votes.
Sorry, if you check statistics, right, during the tax phase, people who were the first during the tax phase, first throughout, like first, you discover that, check their social media, check how many people follow them. Not even about the following. Check when they post a picture, how many people come on there, how many people react on their stuff. That's where you see fans, right? On social media, fans will react to it. Check, somebody will have 12% and the second person will come behind with about 6 or 7%, and that person who has 12% has nobody online. Nobody knows them. Like, they're asking you, and you never will ask yourself, like, you never will ask you like, who is this person again? And nobody knows it. But the only person now is say, okay, she has fans and then she has people behind her. Nebisa has fans and then she has people behind her. Do you understand? Because during the opening you saw fans, and if you go to social media you also see those fans. But there are people in the show who don't even have fans at all. But you see them on the top. Somebody who have, during the task phase, somebody who has 12% and you come with the second person behind that person will have 7% or even 6%, and that person has no fan base at all. And where does this 12% comes from? Okay, money.
Right. So Shapalo, do you believe that if you had maybe saved a little more money out there, or if you had some rich fans, you could have gone a little further into the game? Yeah. Okay. So you all agree. So do you think this is something that should be changed, maybe with the subsequent editions of Biggy 237?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Reality TV show is based on fans. How much fans love you, how much fans you have. That's what reality show all about. But I really don't have a problem with the team, the Biggy 237 panel, for doing that, because you know it's the first edition, and then perhaps they need money to run other
They
stuff.
absolutely need money,
Yeah, there are no much sponsors who couldn't put money into the stuff. There are a few sponsors that are doing a lot for the show already, but they still need more money. So I just guess I understand from my own business point of view and my own PR point of view. I was going like, okay, if I was in the team, this is the strategy I'll bring up. Let's look for strategies that will bring money.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they do that. They did that. So please, I'm just begging you. Next edition is wanting to be dope. 1 vote per SIM card.
Okay.
Tell your sponsors 1 vote per SIM card, and let's see. That is how we build fans.
Yeah.
Because people will win this show and get out, and they will not have no impact in the community.
One front, one.
There will be no impact in the community because there's nobody who is after you who you impact. How many people you impact should tell you should influence your winning on the show.
Right.
That's how a TV show to be. Look at the elsewhere. People who have those battalion behind them have this crowd. Those people win the show, and you see how these people are being impacted by these people up there.
Yeah.
If I win a show and then come out and then a brand takes me to represent something, and then because when a brand, for example, I'm putting on this shirt, if a brand takes me now to sell this shirt, I'm very 100% confident that I have people behind me who buy the shirt. But if they're going to get somebody who has won the show to win to be able to sell this shirt, I bet you don't have many people to buy that shirt because they don't have many people behind them.
Right. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about something else. These two animated conversations for a while. Even foreign media talked about it, media out of Cameroon. There was the fire incident. Not fire. There's a little fire, a little explosion in the kitchen. Let me start with you, Melanie. I'm going to ask you because you're the woman, and it was in the kitchen. I do not mean that the woman's space is in the kitchen. No. But I am realistic in saying that in Cameroon it is more of the women who cook.
Walk in the kitchen, so she would answer.
Right. So what happened?
Okay, from what I understood from the incident, it was actually the manipulation of the gas cooker.
Okay.
Because a lot of us do not really understand how it works. So the oven section, somebody actually turned it on.
Oh, okay.
So since the other buttons were like straight up to be off, so the person perhaps thought straight up that way will also be off, but he didn't know that it was inside a vertical kind of. So it was the opposite.
Was it a he?
I don't know if it was a he, but the person, somebody, I don't know who the person was, but somebody, because actually a lot of people were like moving in that direction, so you can never point out like this is a.
But did anybody ever own up? Did anyone ever ask a question about who did it?
No, nobody.
Okay.
So it was just actually some kind of manipulation, and since the oven section was on and they were cooking, so the gas was already leaking down. So since there was flame up, the gas down actually catch up the flame.
But no one was hurt. Nothing.
No, I was actually the person closest because it was like just few seconds after I left.
Yeah, I watched. That was you.
Yeah.
Okay, I watched the video, and so you're the person with. Okay.
Yeah, just few seconds after I left.
Nick of time.
That's when the thing exploded, but no one was harmed. No one.
I mean, I was in the sitting room when it happened. It was not far from the kitchen, and I heard like the wall. I heard like some of those. So it's a big stone was hitting the wall, like
hitting the wall.
Boom. And then the windows was like. I mean, I felt like I was going. So that's exactly what happened. Somebody mistakenly put that.
Were you scared too, Shafar?
What was bad is that I never heard anything. I was.
Where were you at the time?
And like TJ was running. I heard someone running, coming like to take the rag. And when I woke up, TJ, what's the problem? TJ said, this is not the gas not. I was like, what's going on? When I came down, I was just seeing. I saw Irene. She was standing close to the door, and I saw she was like shocked. What was going on now?
Yeah. Well, it made quite some news. Like I said, foreign media talked about it. People talked about it. We're all wondering what had happened. But of course, we reassured that no one was harmed. So it's all good. Now, I'm going to ask you all. I don't know if since you've been out for some time, not so long, Depeja, but you've been out here for a while. I don't know if you guys have heard about the backlash that followed the house entry party. Many people talked about it, and not in a very positive light, unfortunately. Did you any of you feel that there's something off during the party? Because we just observed, we just watched, so we do not know exactly how you felt about it, or people can get misconceptions from just watching something. Did anybody feel like something was off during the party?
I started having a very bad beginning from the entry party. Despite what was happening at home, and then I get on stage, and the host looks at you and looks at your pink suit and says you are just gay.
Oh, okay. You were told that actually.
Yeah, on live TV, and said that you are wearing gay colors, and asked, "Do you like boys?"
All right, I didn't
It
hear
just
that.
spoiled my mood.
I didn't hear that part.
I listened to that tape like 100 times since I got out, and I kept wondering why she asked me that question. I kept wondering why. Like, even if we're in a society where something like that is not allowed, and even if that was the case, even if I was that kind of person, and you ask me on live TV, what if I get down that stage and those guys around they just hold me and start beating me? What will happen to me? Do you understand? That was putting my own life at risk or putting my personality at a very point. I didn't find it funny. And I took it upon myself, like, okay, I'm going to meet this person, I'm going to meet the host. Anytime we meet, I'm going to tell her my mind. Like, I didn't find that funny. That was one of the worst things that happened to me that night. Because you can just look at me, because I'm somebody who is fashion forward. I like trying things. I like trying colors, I like trying different styles on dresses and stuff. I like doing that. If you look at me, basically that's what I like doing. And then I'll put on a pink suit, and then you look at me and tell me that I'm dressed in a gay color, and then tell me you ask me if I like boys. Fuck.
Well, language, okay? We're on TV, and it's daytime television, and young kids are watching. We are sorry for that. It won't happen again. Right. Melody, did you feel anything off? Did you feel any kind of way?
Yeah, definitely. You know, this is a competition, and we expect everybody to have the same kind of, I don't know, treatment or let's say, we are out. This is showbiz, you understand? We all need that exposure. We need that platform. So when you start making some people feel less important than others, it actually plays a lot on psychology. Like, I can say, for example, where the presentation where we're called up to come and like say something, definitely not everybody had to pull out crowds, but somebody can say something and someone in the public gets attached to that contestant. So when somebody comes up and you don't give the person even a minute to express him or herself, it plays a lot. We are all out to look for fans, and we need that time. Give us that time. Even if it's 30 seconds you give it to everyone. Don't give someone 5 minutes, and when another contestant comes in, you give the person like 30 seconds, or you just ask the person's name and that's it. You tell the person to step down. That alone, it plays a lot. I can say for myself, for example, before I went up, people have been going up and they had time to talk. They'll ask the person, okay, what's your strategy? The person like say things and all like. But when I was on stage, I met the male host actually. He asked my name and was like, he himself introduced me, then asked my name and like asked what my personality is all about. And the next minute when the female host was coming up, the next minute was like, okay, Melanie, it's nice having you. I mean, like, what? Like, what did I even say? I've not even had time to even talk to people. People came there to see me. They want me to talk, and you don't even give me the opportunity to express myself. Already, you are trying to make me understand I'm not even supposed to be part of that show. Because somebody was there, and the person had time to talk. So why don't you allow me to talk as well? It means you're already giving me a heads up that this thing is not going far, because we don't actually need you. That's why we are not giving you the opportunity to express yourself. I think that's something that was really, really out of line.
Okay. That lied too. And then at one point in time, some people had to bring fans on stage.
All right.
Some contestants, some housemates, you bring fans on stage. Like, that was not proper, because not every, they could have said at the beginning, okay, bring your fans so they'll come and clown on stage. Not like some people will bring fans on stage and no one even wants to leave and spend the whole time like they have won already. Just telling us, okay, she's won. You can pack your bags. Like, you can pack your bags. There's no reason to go to the show. They spent time on that day doing things that were not important. Like, this day was made for housemates to introduce themselves to the public. You're introducing these housemates to the public, and then you do other things that are not important. When there's no more time, you start calling housemates on stage, and then you are putting them to hurry up. Like there was no, just 2 questions, you are gone. 2 questions, you are gone. Like, that's what has been happening to the show. The host, it's been the terrible thing that happened to the show. Truth be told, that's the worst thing that happened to Biggy 27. Like, when a housemate come on stage, this is our show. That was our show. That was the show. The people watch that show because of us. Yep. We should say ourselves, not you, the host, talking the whole time, and then when we come up on stage, we don't talk. Even the day I was evicted. Like, this is the last time I have to say myself. Do you understand? And I come on stage, you don't even ask me about whatever happened. You don't even ask me anything. You're just asking 2 questions, and you're sending me away. Like, is it your show?
Okay, Shapalo, how about you? What was it like for you on that day?
In one point of time, I felt myself in like one comedy show at the house party. Because everything we were doing was comedy. I could not understand at one point you're calling a contestant up. Okay, this Chapalo contestant number 44, and when I climb on stage, I'm seeing a different picture.
Okay.
So it just made me went out of me. It means even the psychologically when I was prepared, I went out of me.
Okay.
To be told. And now when he's like the person was trying like to interview me, the words he was using like it's like was mocking at me. I had to even change the language if I could remember. And see, today I've not had that courage to watch that show, how the house party went through. I will not lie, I've never watched it. And they have this one communication. What will you do with 10 million?
Yeah.
That question, I don't know. You cannot ask more than 26 people what will they do with 10 million. What do you expect them to say? Ask them more about their life, and we're trying like to showcase the people they call the housemates who are there, but at the end it was not. We were not showcased.
And I don't think they were even focused on
Where you come from? What do you 10 million? That's all.
That's all.
Like there was nothing like what do you do? What have you been doing? What do you hope to see? What you about you in the house? Those are questions that you ask people on reality TV shows, and then you don't. You just ask me where do you come from, and or what do you do 10 million? What will you do 10 million? And when you say what we do 10 million, and they start asking you about that thing, like now you start. In short, it was a whole disaster.
Well, to say that the housemates were affected psychologically by what happened, for what it was, Vicky Fokala came out and she made a statement. She apologized for what had happened and said she was going to make amends. Well, that's it. You were still in the house.
I need to see our own apology.
You need to catch up. You were still in the house. Now we're going to move on into the house itself. Go back into the house itself to talk about your relations there and what happened in there.
I already said my own now.
No, not relationships. Well, not that kind of relationship. You know.
Okay, I'm sit down now. Well,
and let's talk about ships. Were there persons that you were closer to than others? People were easy to talk to, easy to become friends with. I know you're going to say Melinda. So let me start with Chapalo. Was there someone in the house who was like really easy to be friends with? Somebody you were very close to?
Yeah, I had two people.
Okay.
So I'll first start with Ranbell.
Okay.
I was very close to Ranbell.
Okay.
Some people saw some stuffs and everything.
But were there things? Some people saw some things, but were there things to be seen?
Yeah, there were things to be seen.
Okay, you want to tell us about? No, come on.
There were things to be seen.
Okay.
Yeah. In the house, I had some, let's say, a relationship with Ranbell, and I hope maybe we'll continue when we were out. And meanwhile, in the house, they paired us with like 2 by 2. Yeah, each person had a copy, and they paired me. Unfortunately, they paired me with small pepper.
Oh, you said unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Stop funny.
Okay, you'd have preferred Ranbell.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when they paired me with small pepper, now we had to behave like couples, and it led to different stuff. So at one end,
entanglement, huh?
Led to different stuff and all that.
Wow. You know, maybe in other editions we'll be able to see those little things that happen in the house, because this would have been a story on its own. Yeah. You'd have been would have added to some of the spice of the show, but we didn't quite get to see it. It didn't quite come out. But we're hearing it from you, and we're glad that you're sharing that with us, Chapalo.
Yeah.
So it led to something else with small pepper.
Yeah. It led to even 1 point tears and quarrel running bed every night. She can remember every time she was passing the staircase in the night, I was always sitting running bed. Either one person was crying or one person was talking to me.
Heartbreaker. Playboy, huh? I didn't see that coming at all, and I bet you didn't as well. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So at one point, I had to cut off with Small Pepper and not talk to her. If you notice before I was evicted, I was not talking to Small Pepper, just for peace and everything. And people start looking at me like one playboy, one bad boy. Meanwhile, for me, it was not what I was meaning.
Okay. Peace.
Yeah, it was not me what I was meaning. I don't want to hurt anyone. That's what I wanted.
All right. Okay. Yeah. And for you, Melanie, who was easy to get close to in the house?
Well, let's say
he seems to know a thing or two. Well, I was not in the house, so I can only wait for Melanie to tell us.
I think I was trying my best to be friendly with everybody. I didn't have that particular closeness with someone, but I think there are some people I could easily communicate with.
Yeah.
There is MC Benja. somebody I could easily communicate with, but since he was making faces, he was trying to make me feel like that we have some unfinished business.
Oh,
And I
okay.
think we'll have to finish a business later on.
All right.
And I have like, I said, there's Kelly.
Okay.
So she is to me like a younger sister because we've been communicating ever since before we got into the house.
Oh, nice.
So she always look up to me like an elder sister. So I think that was the first person I really feel the communication with, because most of the time she's running up to me like for advice, like, okay, she's into this thing, how can she like come out of it? So in the house she was more like my own protege. So I was like, no, like try to calm down and see, let's see how things goes.
Yeah.
And for the guys, I think my bed neighbor.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah, my bed neighbor. He was somebody I was constantly chatting with, because since we are close, like each time we have to sleep, both of us we are still there.
Yeah.
So we chat often. I think there is TJ as well. It's somebody I've been communicating even out. We have been communicating out before getting to the house. So those are people I could say I had so much to talk with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't think I have any negative thing on someone in the house.
All right. But was there anyone, MC Dibenja, was there anyone who was difficult to get close to? Like, this person is not easy to be friends with. Was there anyone? Did you get that kind? Did you get that kind of vibe?
There is.
MC Dibenja.
Everybody's choice too. I'm sure.
Let's start with you, MC Dibenja.
No, talk your face.
So the thing is, almost everybody was easy to get to, and at the same time, almost everybody was difficult to get to, because you talk to this person today and they show you all this beautiful side of them, and the next minute, since it's a game, they discover that, hey, what am I doing? The next minute, they put on the tough skin. So everybody had that attitude in the house. Even she had the same attitude. He had the same attitude. Sometimes you talk to somebody and then you feel like, there's some days I spoke with him and then I feel like, okay, maybe me and this guy could be friends. So, and then the next day you want to say something and then it's a whole like a new person you're meeting. Like people keep changing characters every day. So that was the biggest one in my heart. People keep changing their characters every day. So overall, I just learned that I can basically live with everybody now. So I don't think there was someone difficult for me to get close to and stuff.
Okay.
So everybody was penetrable, and at the same time you could not penetrate everybody.
Okay. Shapalo, you have somebody in mind.
Like, I'll come back to what I said. Today you speak with someone and tomorrow we are not changing because we want to change. Some people cause us to change.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I cannot tell something to MC Dibenja and he goes behind and like sabotage you. I had it in that house many times. Even one day caused to one argument on Timmy and Rebel with drawing ourselves. Thank God they never show it.
Okay.
So I thank God they never showed it. I'll not call the person's name, but the person knows himself. When he comes out, when we see the video, you know that jealous guy who knows himself.
Yeah, that's the biggest snitch.
That's the biggest snitch in that house.
Yeah.
So they also will understand what we're saying.
I came out and I heard that 16 people nominated him for eviction. That was not by chance.
Okay.
It was not by chance like that happened like that. Do you understand? There's somebody, he lives in the same hood with me. Sos Agana. I named that to be precise. So he was there, he would sleep in the same room with you, and you guys would chat in the night, and the next morning, once you guys chatted, you hear it in another room. Like, who did that? I look at everybody. I was not in most good terms sometimes we were in the bed, but I discovered that she was the one who did that. And after a long while, somebody from another room came to our room and told us that this is a snitch in your room that comes to my room to tell us that this is what you guys do. The incident of Granite that happened with Granite, that there was all over social media that somebody with that people stole Granite and whatsoever. Like the final Granite that was left in that bottle that was eating that day with TJ. That guy passed and saw us eating the Granite. Do you understand? He's not even saying he wanted to eat the Granite. He left like nothing was wrong and went downstairs to the kitchen and told everybody and told Gaga and the rest that you know these guys are eating Granite in their room. Like we sleep in the same room. It means you can kill us at night. If there was no camera, you can just kill us at night. So the guy was crazy. And then he will always make himself look like this person who is always righteous. Like he will walk in the house and say that whoever nominates me in the chambers, he will not sleep at night whatsoever. And then he comes back from the chambers and says that he went to the chambers and Biggy asked him to nominate and he's not nominate anybody. It's an obligation that you must nominate whenever he's nominating. So why did you come and lie and say that Biggy gave you 5 seconds and he's not nominated? Biggy said, okay, you should go out. You cannot. You must nominate when everybody is nominating. So it was like that. when he will do these things and then make you people feel guilty, like, okay, maybe you are the one that's doing it, why he's the one that's doing it. But you're a big snitch.
Okay, all right.
I just hope that was just in the house, and then because that was a game plan. You understand? So whatever anybody put on in the house, right? I just believe that it was in the house. So when we get out, we should be able to help each other. We should be able to work together. That's my goal. Like, okay, when we all get out, let's help each other and work.
Talking about game plans and strategies, did you have any before you got into the house? Do you have any plans or any strategy whatsoever, Melanie?
Well, I think I've always been that one person that always wants to remain real no matter what and no matter the circumstance. So I could say my game plan was to be myself.
Okay.
And because I know a lot of people who come and change who they are. So me being myself, I think I'm perfect to fit in some kind of situation. So that was just my game plan.
Okay.
Nothing else.
And you, Shapalo, any strategies?
That's it. Just be natural. Some people try to fake it by making the one who knows how to shout better. But in nature, I'm the calm guy. I don't know how to shout. Speaking people, I don't know how to do that. So at one point they say I was boring in the house, but it was just me. I was just being natural. Who am I? That's
okay. And MC, do you have any strategies?
My strategy was just to be smart. Just be me, and then because I like being smart, I like doing smart things, so that was just my strategy, and that's me. So it was like being me altogether. Some people will just be when COVID will start and then it dies down, some will just come like nothing happened. I come and ignite the fire again. Like I look at you, you're just kind of person. I look you deep in you, and because there's one thing in here, I can look at you and tell you about 65 to 70% about you, about the kind of person you are. So when I look at you and I see you're the kind of person who are not this guy, you're not this person, and I see you acting like this, I told myself like, okay, I'll not hate you for that. Just do your thing. It's a game. It's your strategy. So I'll not use it against you. I cannot use anybody. That's why I said a couple of weeks ago that I cannot use whatever anybody did in the house against them outside here.
Or
Because
judge them by that.
Because it was a game and everybody was doing everything to win. So you coming out, now let's come to the normal one and face life. Let's hustle.
Right. Now let's talk about organizational and structurally, organizationally, what happened. Are there any things that you all think could have been done better? I mean, when it comes to, like I said, organization and infrastructures, the games, you're hearing people say they were expecting many more of those, and they didn't come that early into the competition. So do you people think that there are some things that could have been, done better, or maybe things that should be done better in the subsequent editions? Shapalo, let me start with you.
I will start by cameras. I think they have to add the cameras. Okay. Because some people like say, I know that show I watch them, but I don't see you. That complaint. I'm sure everybody has that complaint.
Yeah, I have it.
Because the cameras were not sufficient.
Like, my user your height.
That's it. The cameras were not sufficient, like to pick maybe your close up, sell you, market you. That's it. So that's the first thing I would talk. And game structure. They did well. For me, they did well. They just need to improve. I just hope that the next, they'll bring more games for like people like us. First 2 weeks, we were evicted. I can't say I gained something from my career. Because I never had a director who came in like trying to teach or something. I never had an actress who came in like trying to. Cindy and Marek could come in and like try to teach us something. But that first 2 weeks we had only that game. That's the only game that was interesting.
You were there 2 weeks and you were in 2 relationships. I'm sorry about that again. One way or another, you impacted the house.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Definitely. So we're looking at the improvements when it comes to infrastructure and organization. Melanie, are there any things that you think the organizers should be working on?
Yeah, definitely. Like talking with on the camera, like he said, I think they should go into more sophisticated ones. Because people were like, it's not really
the quality, the image quality,
because they could not really picture people's faces. But unless they really like focus and they really know who you are, that's when they can say, okay, that's the person. So maybe they should go to something really sophisticated. And talking about the game, I think they should consider doing auditions, because I think Cameroon has an industry that is really fast growing, and I don't think they need to get into some kind of things that will instead bring them down. This is entertainment. This is Cameroon, and most, like let's say 90% of the contestants were English-speaking contestants. But I bet there are some who can make like 5 sentences in good English.
Oh, really?
So I think they should consider auditioning, because with audition, at least you see the person, you listen to the person talk. I can record my voice and I edit it and send to you. But when I'm in front of you, the way I express myself, the way I like the way I present myself, like physically and everything, I think you will have a better understanding of who I am. So I think audition will really be a good thing for them to come into the next setting. And also the task phase and everything is good. It's good, at least it makes the contestants to like think out of the box, because just imagine the tax phase, they give you like something to do in 30 seconds. You have like 1,000 ideas you're trying to fit in 30 seconds, so at least it makes them to really be creative. So it's a good thing. I think they should continue with that. And coming to the housemate part, I think they should really like have a good, like, I don't know how I can put it, but it's not all about like bringing people in the house for them to start like having relationships and everything, because from the onset, Biggy was all about talents. That is the focus. That is what everybody heard about, and that is what, personally, that is what made me to come into Biggy. Because I'm not that kind of person who is so fan of going out and start looking out for relationship and the rest. No, that's not my thing. But what made me to be interested in Biggy is because of that word, talent. And I know I have a talent. I know I can use that platform to showcase something. So I think there should be more focus on that talent attitude, that bring out the people. You are good in acting, let's see what you can do. Present yourself to Cameroon, do something. Like actors, you guys should present a sketch, entertain the population. That is how we will expose our talent in the acting.
And also sell Cameroon in the course of that.
Like musicians, okay, you guys, you can come up with a song, do an a cappella. I mean, like entertainment. That is what we want. Don't let people sit in the house and in 24 hours they have like 20 hours to blab around about anything that is not even fruitful to them. But even like you say, okay, you have 2 hours. Actors, you guys should like group up and present us something. Musicians, you guys should group up and present us something. Another day you'll be like, okay, actors, this is a challenge. Those who are good in acting, you guys will sing today. Let's see what you can do. Then musicians, you guys should act. I mean, like, let the thing be really about the talents. Let people not just go and sit in the house and start quarreling up and down about unnecessary things. That to me is not talent hunt. So they should really consider those things. I mean, like next coming edition, I think it will be better off than what we have now.
And MCD Benja, anything to add to that?
So, like, they said a lot, and before I say my own, because you only say what she said, based on what should be done on the show, based on being contestant and talents and stuff. So, generally, reality TV is not talent driven. You understand? Reality TV is basically you get to do some talented things that has to do with your talent inside. But reality TV is just based on reality. Like living your reality. That's what reality TV is all about. But the mistake they did at the beginning was saying that Biggy 27 is a talent-driven initiative, and then now you get into it, we don't see the talent-driven into it. I guess that phrase, a talent-driven initiative, is what's causing so many people to talk about they're not talented people in the house or stuff. But I'm not denying the fact that, like I said in the beginning, we spend 90% of the time in the house doing nothing, useless, wasting that time. So we do nothing. But I believe that Biggy 27 is a work in progress.
Absolutely.
Yes, so I believe that any work in progress has the ups, the downs, and everything. Like they've said, if we get more cameras in the house, if we get, because there are sometimes that you do discover the kind of shots that you have in the house, you get multiple cameras to just show people. My grandmother was like, my beginning, I don't see for her. I don't see for her. So I said it's a whole lot. And then now, based on contestants, I think being contestants together before the show starts is a very bad idea. Because people hate people even before the show starts. For example, me, like it's not by any means. How do you think that just the first week of the show, people will not just like me on the first week of the show? Because we have been together, been in a WhatsApp group, and we have been throwing ideas. We have been calling on WhatsApp groups. We have been doing that, and people already have that thing, image of you on the WhatsApp group in their mind. So they are coming prepared for this person to come and attack. it should be a show that nobody has an idea who this person is about.
You meet them on the day.
Yes, come and meet. You might be on strategy and it doesn't work. You might be on when it works. It's like gambling. Just get there and it happens now, because bringing people together before the show starts is a very bad thing, because we already have hating each other. I don't like her, I don't like you already, or maybe we're already dating outside, and then we get to the show, we have dated and then we are broken up, and then you start catching feelings and whatsoever.
That one.
You know, it's crazy. So I think the organizer should put keen attention into that.
Okay.
I'm not saying they should cancel the task phase. The task phase can still happen without bringing people together.
Yeah.
We came together during the launching, the pre-launch. We came together during quarantine. We were in a WhatsApp group, and that was like we were really family. And like, I don't like this brother. I don't like this cousin. It's like call extended family. That's what happened.
Okay.
So people should come from separate places. Don't know each other. It can still happen that I apply and then somebody applies here and we know ourselves. Let's it happen like that. Let's not be that this initiative brought you guys together and you get to know yourself. You started dating, you guys broke up before the show started, and then the show now comes, you already hate each other. It makes the show not interesting. I've seen a lot of comments online, and it's the same thing that I had in my mind. And then basically, I know, like I said, it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Cameroonians need to believe in it. Sponsors need to believe in it. Needs to get in. Needs to put more money into the show, because they cannot put more cameras if there's no money.
That's true.
They cannot get a bigger house if there's no money. People are saying that the living room is small, whatever. It was really small. So they see people in that kind of small place, so people are standing sometimes, and they cannot get a bigger space if there's no money.
Right.
So they need Cameroonians who have, but not just Cameroonians, like Cameroonians who can put money into the initiative. And trust me, it's going to get better, and it should be based on funds. STV on funds. Like, it should be one SIM card per vote, one vote per SIM card with a particular point. So after 24 hours, you can vote once in every 24 hours. That makes it more lively.
Right.
Makes it lovely.
I'm sure that the organizers are watching and that they're taking notes. And like you said, it's a work in progress. It's the first edition. Things are going to get better with time. We just have to keep supporting and trusting them. Well, going forward, you're out of the house for now. What are your plans? What are you going to do? What do you have lined up? Let me start with you, Chapalo.
Okay.
What's the next step?
Next step, like trying to build up that group I was talking about.
Okay.
We are trying. We already have another person who want to contest for Biggy next year.
All right.
She's still new in the group, and we're trying to like build up her page and everything.
All right.
So I will like move on my activities. Further, go back to my studies, because this year I'm starting back my studies.
Okay.
Back to my studies and learn more of modeling, commercial modeling, because I want to be commercial modeling.
Okay. All right.
So
great.
Those are my plans.
All right. And Melody, we know that you're working on this campaign to help women and children abandoned. Outside that, do you have any other projects that you want to get to now that you're out of the house?
Well, now I'm out of the house, I think I need to start up a physical business. Like, I want to involve fully in my designing. That's the first thing. So I'm thinking of opening up a place and get some things ready, because even if I'm getting into my own vision, like helping, I need to get something on standby, because we don't just help people by giving them fish. We teach them how to catch the fish.
Absolutely.
So I think if I have a structured place already, I can get 1 or 2 persons and I train them how to go about the business. That way, I will not just have one person, I will have an entire family. So they can be able to fend for themselves and their families. So I think that's the first project I have, like starting up that thing. And secondly, I think I'm working on my YouTube as well, because I need people who share my vision. So getting into that YouTube and building more of Facebook Live and the rest, so people can really understand why I'm driving at.
Right.
So from now, that's where I'm starting.
Okay. And MC Benja, where do you stand? He says he does anything that gives gotta give him money.
Basically, I just got this is the first place I'm seeing it. It's not outside yet, but I just say it here. I just got a promotion from being a public relations officer to a manager.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So I started my PR agency. It's running already with a friend, but right now, I do presenting and stuff. So I don't have a show on my own right now.
Okay.
So the first thing I want to do right now is I have a show on my own, to come up with a show on my own. All might watch me, any TV they watch me, they think you can host my show. I want to say I'm open to work wherever on TV. So I want to have a show on my own, and then since I said I've been saying in the house that I have, despite the fact that I wanted to win so that I could build a house for my parents, but I still care about people who are suffering. I care about people who don't have food to eat, because I know what it means to be hungry. I know what it means to be hungry. I know it's a very bad thing. It's like you are going to die in the next minute. It's very bad. So what I want to come up with is a small organization that can provide small food, like even not much, but just small food for people who like less privileged children who have little or nothing to eat. Food in particular, nothing else, just food, because food is very essential in our lives. If you don't eat, you cannot live. I mean, you need food to have energy. So, and most Cameroonians, they basically cannot afford food. Like the low class people cannot afford food. Most less privileged people, and coming with the crisis too that's affecting the north and south region, the numbers keep increasing by the day. So I'm opening it out there. I'm going to start a campaign in the weeks ahead to get to people, to get to these less privileged people, these internally displaced people, to see how I can support them in anything possible. So I'm going to name it Food for All.
Okay.
Like Food for All, yeah. So just starting small, and I believe that in the years to come, it's going to be a very great initiative. So those are the two major things I have right now to whatever I'm doing. So I'm just open, like I said.
Yeah.
Despite those things, I'm still open to the public. I brand representation, my PR skills.
What kind of brands are you looking to work with? What kind of companies would you like to work with? I don't know if you like to work with any kind of company. And how can they get in contact with you?
I like to work with communication companies. Okay. I like sports. I like communication because I like sports. Okay. Definitely. So then I like communication, I like talking and stuff. So basically, but aside those ones, I can represent any brand that you bring to me, because I'm not gonna base it when if I'm given this. If you say I should talk about these trousers, I would sell it as more than what you even expect. Okay. So I can do all that. That's my focus right now, to brand representation. And
how can they get to you? These companies are watching and they probably maybe interested and want to work with you. How do they get basically,
I'm on social media. MC Dibenja on Facebook. I am MC Dibenja on Instagram. I am MC Dibenja on Twitter. On LinkedIn, I'm Dibenja Frederick. Okay. Then my phone number, I can give my private number, which is 670-04-7246. 670-04-7246. Or you can reach me at dibenjafederic@gmail.com. dibenjafederic@gmail.com. So you reach out to me, let's make money.
Right. And Melanie, I'm sure you'd also like to work with brands or companies who are interested. What kind of companies, kind of brands would you like to work with, and how can they reach out to you?
Well, I love everything that deals with fashion.
Okay.
Talking about makeup, talking about fashion wears and wears, accessories, everything. I love working with them. So wherever they are placed, especially Cameroonians, because I would like Cameroon to build. So I want to work with Cameroonians so that together we build our country. Yeah. Let's not just admire those out there, but let's make people admire us here. So I like to work with them anytime, anywhere I'm available. And to get to me, I'm on Facebook, Melanie Bimo. My page is Mel B Pinky. Okay. On Instagram.
You like pink, apparently.
Yeah. On Instagram, I'm Bimo Melanie. Okay. Twitter, Melanie Bimo. And my Gmail account, melaniebimo@gmail.com. Okay. And for my private number, you can call me 674-44-3897. That's 674-44-3897.
Right.
That's WhatsApp as well.
Okay. And Shapalo, I know you want to go back to school, but if you get endorsement deals and things like that, I'm sure that you're ready to work. So what kind of companies would you love to work with, and how can they reach to you too?
I'm up to any company, especially those in Kama, she said. Yeah. Because they say before you want to build your neighbor's house, you build your own first. Right. So I'm ready for any company, being French or English, because I'm bilingual first.
Yeah, that's one thing we didn't say. Shapalo is very bilingual. Of course, see. This show is in English. It's called a diary, no French. Okay.
So I'm ready for anything. So if they want to reach me, they go any social media handle with Chapalo 237.
Okay, Chapalo 237.
Yeah, and my phone number 671-24-1183.
Okay.
671 24 11 83. That's it.
All right, so you all have the numbers, you have the contacts, you know what to do to get in touch with these amazing people. You know, in the house we don't get to see how intelligent you all are, how talented you all are. It's good to be able to talk to you and see there's so much more than what we saw. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure anyone watching now would agree with me. One last question before we go. Very quickly, who do you think is going to win the Biggy 237 competition? This first edition, who do you think is going to win?
There are 3 people who have strong power behind them, so I don't know who of them is going to win.
If you had to pick one.
Okay, Nerissa.
Okay, Nerissa. How about you? Who do you think is going to win?
Well, I could pick her, but it's a game of 3, so
Okay.
really has
Pick one. You had to pick one. Just pick one.
maybe Vanitas.
Okay. And Chapalo, for you, I think I know where you're going with it. Oh.
We say you cannot leave your mom to support someone outside. So
Right.
I'll go Vanilla.
Right. Well, and that's it. Thank you all so much. It was amazing talking to all of you.
I wish I could say that Melinda will win.
You can, you know. I was saying it's great. It was great to have all of you here on the diary. I was going to say good morning, Cameroon. Good morning, Cameroon is the other show I present on STV. That's Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. You can watch as well. But thank you for watching the diary today. I hope that you're going to have a great weekend. We'll be back next week with more. Have an excellent weekend and take care. Okay, stay safe. Bye bye.